Oh yes, video number three, pla, place, whatever. Um, okay, this is gonna be a semi-heavy topic. I feel. It's gonna talk about like people who are feeling like they don't want to be here. You know, they're dissatisfied with life. They're dissatisfied with the way they relate to people and the world. And then they feel this like heaviness. I feel and they just don't want to be here. They're just tired, world weary. I was there. I've passed through that phase. It's just like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. People used to annoy me, and people used to like, I don't know. People, I didn't really like people. I didn't. I was very tired of trying to participate in the activities of the world, and I was just like, man, I can't wait to get out of here. You know, And it's funny, I had a couple of friends and they were like in agreement with me. It's weird. It's like I wasn't suicidal, but I was just tired. Like it was almost like I was just, like I don't know, just getting through the day, just to get through the day and just sleeping a lot, trying to escape. And let's talk about it because I feel like that's really prevalent in this day and age. You know, I feel like let's understand why people feel this way. Let's start with like why people don't like people, you know? I feel like people don't like people because they don't know how to relate to others. Why don't they know how to relate to others? Because they're very rigid in their mindset and how they think things are supposed to be versus how things actually are. And then because they have a rigid mindset and they expect things to be a certain way, when they encounter people who are not operating on the same frequency, they have a tendency to take that personally and then to dismiss everything and everyone and put a label on it. Like, oh, these people are sorry. I'm gonna be real. These people are stupid, or I get. Okay, first of all, you need to look at that and be like, okay, maybe, or actually, how am I participating in this dynamic? Oh, okay, I'm really rigid in my mindset. I expect everything and everyone to, I don't know, be a certain way, be in accordance to what I like. And I think there's so many things in the world, like nothing is ever going to be the way you like. It's going to be the way it is, you know. And then, maybe like poor poor relational skills, like not being able to accept another person's point of view, another person's way of being, and so they already have their defenses up. So it's just like that person is being defensive. I used to be that way, because I was sensitive to energy and I was just like, ugh, I hate being around people. But you see, if I were to turn that around and go, okay, why do I hate being around people? Like, how am I participating in this dynamic and creating a situation that is stressful to me? Oh, I don't know how to regulate myself. Oh, I'm being inauthentic in interactions. Oh, I am like making myself small in order to feel accepted instead of being my authentic self. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, instead of blame shifting everything and everyone in the world, it's just like you need to look at yourself and be like, okay, I am being rigid. I have these high expectations. I am not like, you know, I want to say like adaptable or like open to like different ways of being in the world, you know what I mean? So I need to maybe shift that within myself. Oh, I don't know how to regulate my own energy. I don't know how to stay in my own frequency. oh, you see what I'm saying? It's like a lack of accountability and blame shifting the people, the world, for your unhappiness or your dis-ease or your discomfort. Like, oh, I don't know how to communicate. Like, oh, this person is talking my ear off and I don't know how to communicate that I don't want to talk about this. Or like, hey, I need to dismiss myself right now, but it was nice talking to you. I don't know how to I don't know how to implement boundaries. Yeah, that's why people like have that attitude, man. But if you shift the attitude and you shift the perspective and you kind of like self analyze and you take accountability for your participation in the dynamic, then you relieve yourself of a lot of stress, a lot of tension, a lot of dis-ease. It's like you think the things outside of you are creating it, but you are creating it, you know, by having a very, very, like, I don't know, rigid stance on life. It's like getting mad at a rainbow for being a rainbow, or getting mad at a rainbow for having blue in it. It's like, oh my god, I hate this rainbow. Dude, just accept the rainbow as it is. You know, it is comprised of these elements, these color schemes. It's like, what do you expect? Or getting mad because it's like raining outside. It's just like, dude, it's raining. I don't know. So the dissatisfaction obviously stems from within. Once you realize that, and once you take accountability, and once you shift your perspective, and once you become more open and more flexible to like accepting how things are around you, suffering ends. You know, people are tired, like world weary, don't want to be here, can't wait till this ends. And I say these things because I used to be in that frame of mind. They've just placed themselves in situations that obviously don't make them happy, and they chose that. you know you're not a tree. You can at any time uproot yourself and move and leave and change and shift and you know choose choices that make your soul happy, make your heart happy. So that's why people are just like, oh, I hate being here. It's just like, why do you hate being here though? Like, life is pretty freaking amazing. Life is full of like wondrous miracles if you're looking for it. And if you don't like your living circumstance, if you don't like the relationships you're in, if you don't like the people that you have been associating with, if you don't like that job, quit, leave, move, shift. Shift into places that actually align with your soul's purpose. But people are afraid. They're afraid to do that, because maybe the change that is necessary is unconventional and they have to go against like what is socially correct. And maybe going against that grain will reveal more of your authenticity, but you're afraid to do it because you don't want to be ostracized, you don't want to feel left out, you don't want to be looked at like you're the weird one. It's just like everybody's fucking weird. It's just some people are like better at hiding it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, it's all shackles, if you ask me. Shackles that bind you to being in spaces or being like inauthentic. And that's why people are tired. It's like you're tired because you're taking up so much energy trying to be something you're not. When you're authentic, it's effortless. It doesn't require too much energy to be authentic. Because you're being yourself. You're not trying to be something else. You're not trying to make yourself small. They're trying to make yourself big. You're just being yourself. You know? And like if you like make choices to create a life that you love, I want to say you will not tolerate anything that is not that. So you will not tolerate staying in a job that you freaking hate. You'll fucking quit and you'll fucking do what makes your soul come to life, period. Or it lights up your soul, like makes your heart happy. You know what I mean? And that's the best way to do it, guys, is to operate in that way. If you're not happy with the relationship you're in, Have a conversation about it. Be authentic. Be honest. Be open. Be transparent about it. And if that other person is willing to be open and transparent and authentic too, maybe you guys can work something out. Maybe they're not, I want to say, evolved enough to do that. So you gotta leave, you know? You gotta leave. Leave spaces that make you feel inauthentic. Leave conversations that make you feel inauthentic. Learn to communicate, learn to be transparent. That's how you'll know. I feel like honesty is the best policy. If you're honest from the get go and the other person is not, that's how you know that's not a match. You know? Because if that other person is lying and you're lying, then you're building something on a foundation of lies, and that's pretty weak. That foundation is not going to withstand a certain amount of time. And that's why being authentic and being true and being honest is the best policy. If you go to interview for a job and you're being your authentic self and you're admitting to oh yeah, I don't know how to do that, but I can learn, then from the get-go you're starting on a solid foundation. That person can decide to hire you or not based off of your authenticity. But if you're lying, then you put yourself under this pressure to pretend like you know something that you don't know, or something that you don't like. You see where I'm going? Yeah, man. Once you break through the fear, break through all the BS, and you become authentic, radically authentic, life becomes pretty fucking amazing. Let me tell you. It's just phenomenal, honestly. You wake up every day, you're not putting unnecessary pressure on yourself to be something you're not. You're not putting unnecessary pressure on yourself to be in places that you don't want to go. You're not putting yourself in predicaments and putting that unnecessary pressure on you to perform a certain way. You're just showing up as yourself, and then you can teach others to show up authentically too, or not, because you're probably that's the thing I notice. When you're authentically yourself, again, you'll either bring out the authenticity in others, or you will trigger them, because I don't know, you're triggering, making, a lot of people are lying to themselves, so when they come across somebody who's authentic, you're gonna trigger their demons and the masks and all the stuff they try to hide, or you're gonna repel people because they're just oh my god, this person, I cannot. That's okay too, Anyways, I hope you learned something from this vid. I'm sorry if there was a dark undertone to it, but let's be real. A lot of people are unhappy with their lives, with themselves, with their circumstances. But then you have to ask yourself, how are you participating in this dynamic? It's not the world, It's not anyone else but you. Anyways, blessings to one and all. Amen.